Welcome to Innovate presents Entrepreneurs in Tech. Today, we're delighted to have our guest, Chiji Uzo, who is the president and CEO of AmpaCash Corporation. Chiji, thank you for joining us today. Could you please start by introducing yourself and provide us with a little bit on your tech background and experience?
Thank you very much for having me, Bob. Yes, well, where do I start? Currently, I'm CEO of AmpaCash, like you said. My background, educationally, undergrad, I had a dual major in applied statistics and finance. I did an MBA in finance at Rutgers University. We had the premier class for what later became the quantitative finance school. And I started a PhD in mathematics, but I dropped out to work because I was given an opportunity a path to citizenship with the first company that hired me. But right now I'm working with AmpaCash and we have a lot of innovations, which I hope we'll talk about in this show.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to dive into it. It's very intriguing. And let's start by you sharing your journey, with Bank Austria, New York.
Yeah, Bank Australia, New
Yes.
York. Yes.
You
All right.
became an
So yes,
executive.
I became an executive. I was very fortunate. What happened was, in the PhD program, my advisor, based on the strength of a paper, he says, there's a bank, this foreign bank operating in New York that might want to hire you, and they are likely to. At the time, I came from Africa. I came from
Yeah.
Nigeria. You would be able to get a green card as an alien of extraordinary ability.
Yeah.
And I said, what about the PhD? He says, hey, you can always come back and finish it. So since my advisor was supporting it, I went. I was very fortunate. I got the position. I got a green card fairly quickly, and I got very intrigued. So that was actually the start of my journey in tech. Because remember, my training was in finance. Yes, I had statistics, but when I got there, I discovered that banks are the largest consumers of technology.
Hmm.
The services they offer, you go and you write a check, you go and you withdraw money. It's technology that powers it. Everything is powered from the back end. And I was on the trading floor. They were doing trades. And I got really fascinated. I said, I'd like to understand the technology. So they gave me, I did technology stuff. I did stuff I had a portfolio for trade finance, apart from working on the trading floor. We're doing what you call Monte Carlo simulations. It sounds great, but it gets boring very quickly. So I decided to make a switch. I decided to switch to full-time technology and just become a technology executive
From finance.
because I
You were in
felt
finance.
from
Remember that.
finance. I was in
Yes.
finance, yes, and it was unheard of. People say, well, come from finance to technology. It's very unusual, but that was the move I made because I believe that technology drives business. So when these guys, Wright brothers, invented the aeroplane, it could fly. Some people came over and said, we could use this for transportation, move people from one part of the world to the other. Uh, you know, it, Once you have the tech, sometimes you can figure out how to use it for business. So sometimes you have a business and you say, oh, we have a technology that can drive it. So I'm a big believer in the fact that technology drives business. So after I left Bank Austria, my next position, I didn't feel I was strong enough in technology. I wanted to get involved,
Hmm.
understand it. So I went to work with Solomon Smith Barney, and I went straight into engineering, technology. I didn't go higher for get into finance. I went straight into technology. Again, it had to do with trading because those guys use a lot of the trading floors, trading securities, buying bonds, stocks. It uses a lot of technology, and so that's why I cut my teeth. And I learned a lot.
So
And
you worked for
remember, my
Smith
background
Barney.
is, at the time, it was called Solomon
Salmon
Brothers. It wasn't
Brothers.
called
Okay,
Smith
I
Barney.
remember.
It was Solomon Brothers at
Yes.
the time.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really good. I worked for them. It was a great experience. And then I worked for them for about a year and a half, and then I got hired by Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank in global engineering. Global engineering. What happened is it's a close knit society. And when I was in Solomon, I was part of what they call the SOAK group. So if you have any problem across the firm that has to do with engineering as it relates to business, you come to us and we'll give you the solution. So I got a good reputation. I went to Deutsche Bank. Again, they had 2 or 3 trading floors. I was part of global engineering. So I got quite a bit of experience in understanding technology, but not just technology on its own, how it drives business. That it's an important connection because you could just go in and be doing stuff that how does it drive business? If I come over and I click and I want to buy a piece of stock, I want to buy. What is the technology behind it? How do you report that trade? How is that transaction completed? How can I do this for 1 million people without a hiccup?
Mhm.
That was my experience.
Wow. So from Austria Bank, New York, then to Salmon Brothers, and from
Solomon,
Salmon Brothers, Deutsche Bank. We're
Deutsche
talking only
Bank.
the top financial houses. And
Yes,
then
I was
you
very
went
fortunate.
also worked as a technology leadership position at Merrill Lynch.
Exactly. Actually, what happened before I went to Merrill Lynch, I took a consulting gig with Credit Suisse.
Okay.
Credit Suisse. They sent me to Japan. I got a reputation at the time. They say, "Oh, that guy is maybe because I'm a minority," and there were very few minorities in senior executive positions in those days. I said, "Wow, what's happening?" So, and he's so young. What's the story
Hmm.
here? So, it can cut both ways. It can help you sometimes,
Hmm.
but more often than not, it's not. But yeah, so I went to I worked in credit. I was sent to Japan because they had some regulatory issues, and they were wondering, can this be fixed by technology so that people don't have to go on filling forms by hand? So there's some way to look at this, integrate it, do the reporting technically. So I did that. I was in Japan for a while, which was interesting. Then when I came back, I had an opportunity in Merrill Lynch. Again, a good
Jobs
reputation.
just rain on you. They rain
Yeah,
on you.
I was lucky. I was lucky. I was lucky. I was lucky.
Amazing.
Things just happened, and they wanted me to build. At that time, low latency trading was very big. So when you perform a trade, if you can cut 1 millisecond from the time it takes from the trading floor to the exchange, 1 millisecond, that's 1,000th of a second, it translates into $250 million a year.
Well, one more time. Repeat this one more time. Let's.
if you can reduce 1 millisecond from the round trip time from the trading floor to the exchange, 1 millisecond, it translates into $250 million a year.
Wow. Wow.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So that's what you call low latency trading. You want to optimize the hell, just in fact, move close to the exchange, whatever you need to do to get that additional time. And that was fun. That's really interesting. They gave us a team because the amount of money in it was huge.
Hmm.
So they gave us a team, brilliant guys, math, physics, hardcore people. It was very interesting. It was fun stuff.
Unbelievable.
So yeah,
Unbelievable.
so I was very fortunate in that respect.
Well, you know what? Your knowledge and your experience and knowledge that will really made you lucky.
Yes, I was fortunate. But again, we'll talk about this later. But I came to believe that if you're in tech, if you want to do tech, you have to be somebody that's willing to learn. You can't say, "Oh, I'm too old. No, I'm not interested. No, I just want to learn my thing. I just want to be an expert." You have to be curious about learning different things, and that really helps a lot. And this thing came back to help me later. So when I was in Deutsche Bank, I was a senior guy. I didn't have to be on call, but I said, I want to do calls. I want to see what you guys are doing with maybe databases or network infrastructure. I said, Chiji, what is happening? But all those, because I was curious, and those things helped me a lot later in my career.
Hmm. Interesting. What was your, experience managing critical infrastructures for stock trading and investment banking?
One of the things that comes across, you always need a good team. You need a good team. You can't do it all alone. You need a good team, and you have to know that the team would have to have different people with different talents. For example, at one time, maybe because of my background, I used to put a big stock on, formal education, formal schooling. He has a PhD from this. But later on, I got to see that just being creative and curious, there are people that bring different things to the table, different things to the team. They go a different perspective. They may not have a PhD in math or whatever, but you need a composite team that has different features. And that's one of the key things I took away. It changed my perspective, the way I lead. I don't feel that people bring different things to the table, different
Hmm.
elements, and that's it. You have to have experience to see that.
So, again, you went to work for TD Ameritrade.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And how
so
did
what
that,
happened then?
and you were enterprise architect.
Yes,
What does
yes,
that mean?
yes, yes. So
Enterprise architect.
What the enterprise architect does is he's somebody that looks at a business and say, what services are we developing? What services are we offering to our customers? All right. What technology are we using to deliver these services? Can we improve upon it? Can we improve the services we use to deliver our services? As opposed to somebody that's actually building, what the kind of stuff you do on the trading floor. The enterprise architect has to have a business view. So at that point in my career, I felt I now understood technology very well. I already had a background in finance. So integrating both of it couldn't have come at a better time for me. So I would look at things and say, okay, what's your technology stack? So basically, as an enterprise architect, you say, what are you guys doing? What are you guys offering in terms of services to your customers? And how are you offering this? So one of the things that happened, one of the reasons why they hired me was they came over and the management had made a decision and said, look, we want people to be able to buy their stock directly without going through a broker. We want them to come to the TD Ameritrade and just click and buy stock or buy bonds or buy options.
Yes.
We want them to be able
Eliminate
to
the
do the
middleman
transaction.
commission.
Eliminate the middleman commission. And that commission, we can pass it on to the user and make it cheaper for them to transact. Say, okay, great service. But the thing is, do we have the technology to build this? Because when you're doing transactions, you have to offer it well to the consumer, but there are reporting requirements, there are regulatory requirements. And they wanted somebody who could see the whole thing, and that's why they brought me in. So we built Trade Architect. Trade Architect was the backend that did this, permit you to just go click, 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 and buy and stuff. So that was an interesting experience.
Okay, I'm going to say this from a viewer, an interviewer, and a listener point of view. A person in your status who highly educated, extremely experienced in the finance and the tech world, which is a combination that runs the world pretty much.
That's correct.
Obviously, doing that and learning and working and having, you're an entrepreneur. You're not just somebody who wants a job in security. You're an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, 100%.
Yes, correct.
And entrepreneur, not just somebody having their own business. No, an entrepreneur is someone always innovative, always learning more and working and advancing himself. And you are.
I think that's
absolutely 100%.
Yes.
So I don't know what you were making. It's your business, but from what I hear, a person with that kind of combo and working for these type of institutions, you could make in the millions. You can't probably
half a million base, and
at least,
you'll get
and more even.
You'll get you'll get stock options and things like that. So you make a decent.
Yes, and some you can make more. I mean, if you continue working up and high, you'll definitely make more. So what motivated you, and what initiated? It's like, hey, you know what? I want to go into deep learning, algorithm, trading, and payment solution, and and start your own. But you also work for another company, AmpaCash. That's before even. I mean, you literally went through the whole top institutions before you took the turn and say, you know what, I'm going to open my own. I'm going to struggle more now. I got to this level. I'm going to take these things, take the gloves. I'm going to start my own thing. I'm going to bootstrap what I want to do. But why? But let's talk about AmpaCash first. Like, what motivated you to go that route with deep learning and trading?
What happened was my professor raised money. He raised money since he convinced people as a professor. The same professor who he's always showing up in my life at the right time. The same guy who helped me with my initial job with Bank Austria. He had now retired life, but he raised money. He had a great reputation, and then he had funds. He says, "Listen, Chiji, you have a lot of experience. I want us to build something different." And I said, "What is it?" He says, "Look, a lot of the way people do this traditional stuff is nonsense. They tell us traditional things." He says, "The money I have, I want to invest in startups, number one. And I want to have algorithms that can make better predictions about what you should buy and what you should sell." I said, okay, that's good. I can build the infrastructure to do that, do the trading. But the algorithm portion was interesting. And look at why. He says, look, if you go to a VC and you say, I want money, they'll ask you, what's the total addressable market? What's your team? What's your sales projection? They ask you a lot of ridiculous questions because those things are not, they say, how strong is your team? Some of the people that Microsoft, when they started out, the guy was a teenager. He had no experience. He teamed up with somebody. So a lot of those things they're asking for are really nonsense if you look at it. Are those things real predictors of which startup will succeed? So myself and Professor Ying, we believe that a lot of those things they do, those traditional things are false. It's not true. They're not good predictors of who would succeed. So what he wanted us to do was to look at the history and use machine learning to say, what are the real things that determine which startups will succeed?
Hmm.
That's number one. So he could put his money on those startups. Says all those traditional things, oh, you have a good team here. So if it was just a team, all these big companies will not do badly because they have enough money to hire the best teams, but a lot of them still tank. So, and then he felt the second question was, is there some way to have an algorithm that can predict the stocks that we buy? It's not going to be 100% accurate, but even if it is 70% accurate, you'll make a fortune. And that's what we're trying to do when he invited me to. And I was very thrilled. I said, yeah, this will be interesting. Let's give it a shot.
Hmm. Okay, I guess the train doesn't stop there yet. It did not stop there.
No,
I think I probably need a day to read your resume. Um, you went to work for AWS
yeah,
as an innovative technology solution and designer.
that's correct. Solutions
What did
architect.
you do there? Tell us about that
So,
experience.
so what happened was I actually worked at, yeah. So what happened was we had when we were at TD Ameritrade, somebody had come to pitch to us and says, look, there's this thing called the cloud. It's coming. It's going to change technology. Cloud. What exactly are you talking about? But he had planted a seed in us and he had explained a lot of things that we didn't even think was possible. In those days, everybody used to own like three or four, five data centers, spend millions of dollars. So when I got a call from AWS saying, listen, we're looking for somebody who have a lot of experience, big name companies and things like that. And I said, what will I be doing? They said, you'll be a solutions architect. I said, why do design things, but again, it's going to be business focused because at this point, I didn't want to do technology in isolation.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be, I had to see the business, the business benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So they invited me and then they gave me a fair amount of responsibility. They treated me well, but I had responsibility for, I was a subject matter expert for three things. I started with IoT, Internet of Things devices. So one of the things they wanted to do is like, you have a hand washing machine in a bathroom. When the soap runs low, they want the machine, they want that soap bottle to order, call Amazon and order and say, I need more soap. They wanted the machines to act intelligently on their own without human intervention. That's one. Two is wanted to do, if you're doing machine learning, they wanted it to be accessible to people who don't have to have a PhD in math. You want to design something and say, hey, listen, I want to see how can I get more traffic? What's been happening to my music business? What do I need to do? They want anybody to be able to click, click, click. That's what I was posing. And make it easy. You don't have to be some whatever. Make it available to lay people. So I worked with a team on designing SageMaker.
SageMaker.
SageMaker is something, SageMaker, SAGMAKR. It's available to lay people. You don't have to be a data guru king. So you can just use it and get some machine learning information. So those are some of the things I was proud of. We did a couple of other things. We did some things apart from the IoT. We did a couple of other things, somewhat more technical, like bring your own IP and things. But that's making machine learning accessible to a lay person was something I'm sort of, I felt that my contributions were useful there.
Interesting. And how long you stayed with them?
5 years.
5 years.
I was at AWS for quite a while. I really, it's a good place. It's a good
So
place.
by
Really great.
working for all these big institution houses, then to for the professor for his own company,
Yeah.
and then Amazon, working with all of these places, didn't you see a gap there or some kind of something missing, and you keep
Yes.
noticing it over and over and
Yes.
over, whether it's Merrill Lynch, or
Correct.
Salmon Brothers, or Austria, New York Bank,
Correct.
all of these big institutions, trading houses, and banking investment companies. So, what was the thing that clicked in your head, and working for Amazon, that there's a problem, there's a gap, there's something missing there, and you know what it is, but maybe you don't want to share it with anybody. Said, you know what, I'm going to build it myself, and I think I will become successful because I see what's missing. I see the problem there, but nobody's addressing it. They're shoving it under the rug, and I think I'm going to do something about it.
I think there are many such products I have to be honest. There are many things where I saw gaps and I say, gosh, there's an opportunity here, there's an opportunity here. But why I focused on fintech, because I feel, first of all, what happened? Why did I leave Amazon? I got a call from Hitachi. The Hitachi, Sony, I can't, one of them, they called me and says, we like your patents, we want to buy your patents. And I
Wait a
said,
second. They like your patent for what? For AmpaCash?
for no, for payments,
Oh,
yes. One of the patents for
oh,
AmpaCash.
so you
AmpaCash, they have
applied for the payment even way before.
way before I was doing, whenever I have an idea, I say, whoa, this is good. I write it, apply, leave it, because in my work, I was getting so many ideas about how to do different things because I was in trading. Wanted to be able to trade large volume, wanted the cost to be very small. How could you optimize this? I'll get an idea, I'll
And you
file.
trademark it.
Right. Yes, our
The
trademark it.
idea, not the concept, not
Where,
the actual, just the idea in text.
well, you have to put a little more detail so that somebody can build it. So if you say, I have something that can make payment transactions very, very cheap. You have to describe it enough for somebody to be able to build it
Yes.
before they'll give you a
Yes.
patent. So yeah, so whenever I had an idea, especially I had those ideas, I usually want to file after I leave that company. So if I work for someplace for 2 years, once I leave, all the ideas I have, I'll file it while I'm not working for them. So they will come and claim it. And then, that's every time I have an interlude, I would file if I was working as a
And is it
consultant.
expensive to file such idea just in writing in
No,
text?
well, writing it's a bit pricey, but there are ways if you're like a small company or an independent person, the fees you have to pay to the government are quite low. The bigger you are, the more you have to pay. So they have things, at least within the US, to make it slightly cheaper for individuals, but it's somewhat expensive. So if you file a patent and you have an attorney, they would say they could charge you, if it wants to account, maybe $5,000 to $8,000 just for the filing, and
And if you
then
do it
the patent
yourself, how much
office.
would it cost you without an attorney?
No, you shouldn't do. You need an attorney. Let me explain. The attorney writes the
Mhm.
claims. So you write the invention. You discover the. Okay, let me give you an example. So you go to some place. People are sitting down on the floor. They're sitting down. They don't know anything about
Yes.
chairs. So you say, look, what are you guys doing? They say, chair, what are you talking about? You tell them, hey, listen, there's this thing you can have. It has 4 legs. You can sit on it. Ants don't have to bite you and have a back. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
So you describe it, 4 legs, a thing, a chair, and you write it and you want to file a patent. If you file the patent that way and they give you a patent for a chair with 4 legs and some other person does a chair with 3 legs, he hasn't infringed on your patent.
Wow.
You see, so the problem is the attorneys will read what you call your
And
specifications,
come
what
up
you've
with
said.
every possible scenario that could arise.
Exactly.
Got it.
So when they're filing for it, they'll file for a chair with 1 leg. When they're even though you've described the chair with 4 legs, they'll say it's an embodiment. When they file the claim, they'll say we're claiming a chair with 1 leg
Hmm.
so that nobody can infringe. That kind of specialized knowledge, you need a patent attorney for it. That's the problem. So you can write the description of what you want to do, but the claims, the attorney has to do it. They are trained to
So
do
how
it.
many patents you filed? Just curious, like what all of your ideas?
We have 5 patents issued. We have 3 pending. They're all related to payments. And those are the things we all put, those patents have all been assigned to AmpaCash.
And
And
all of these
so
ideas came through your head while you're working for
through
all of
my
these
head,
institutions, whether it's investment
invest
banking,
different
trading,
ideas.
or bank,
Exactly.
fin-
That's correct.
financial
That's
institution.
correct.
Amazing.
That's good. That's
Wow.
correct. And so we put it into AmpaCash. And one of the advantages that AmpaCash has with all these things is we can process a payment transaction at a fraction of the cost for a regular
So,
provider like a
we
debit
started
card, a
talking about
credit card, and all that.
AmpaCash, your new entrepreneurial
Yeah.
endeavor. Let's
Yeah.
let's dive into it. Can you break it down for our listeners, viewers, for everybody to understand what is AmpaCash, what is it role, and what makes it so special, different than other payment processing um, portals that are available out there?
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, I'll do that.
Please.
Okay. Let's say you go to a store and you want to buy a piece of gum for 75 cents. You bring out your credit
Yeah.
card. They say, nope, minimum $10. Why do they do that?
Hmm.
Because if you do a 75-cent transaction, after the merchant pays his fees, he doesn't make money. The processors who process the transaction don't make money. When you process, the normal method of processing transactions involves many parties. You have, if it's a credit card transaction, there's an acquirer, there's a network provider, there's a Visa, there's a bank that issued the card. Each of these people, they all have to share a part of the fee
Yeah.
paid by the merchant. So if the fee is small, nobody makes money. So if your transaction is under $2,
Yeah.
generally it's not profitable. That's the problem. That's the key problem with traditional payment methods. Now, if I'm buying the gum from a store and the guy says, I'm not accepting your credit card, I can give him $1 and collect change. But if you're doing the transaction online, you can't. You can't give him $1
Uh-huh.
online. You need a payment
Yeah.
method. And right now, there are no payment methods that can handle a 5-cent transaction, a 10-cent transaction profitably. AmpaCash can. That's the key thing we offer. Our cost of processing is so
So
low that you
AmpaCash
can do small
uses
transactions.
cash.
No. What happens is AmpaCash, you will load money. I don't like to use the term wallet. You can load money from your bank account, from a prepaid card, from your
So
debit
you
card.
can
Once you put it
AmpaCash account.
into your AmpaCash account, and from there, you can now do small transactions profitably. Anybody you pay, the fee is very low.
And how
Apart
you
from
use
small
it? By
transactions,
phone or by credit card? You
yeah,
guys
by
issue a
phone.
card
No,
or?
no, we don't. You just put it on your phone and you're ready to go. Now, if you want a card, if you also want a debit card, we'll send you a debit card. And you can now use the debit card, swipe it anywhere, and it
Does
takes the money out of your phone.
does
Yep.
the how should I say? Does the person who's taking the card, let's say you go to 7-Eleven and you
Yep.
want to spend 75 cents or $1, and they say
Yep.
for credit card is
Yeah.
$5, $10, you cannot spend a
Yeah.
dollar or two.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do they have to take AmpaCash, or AmpaCash everybody takes it? Or I mean, how does it
No.
work?
What happens is, okay, so the merchant who wants to accept AmpaCash has to sign up. You sign up online.
Got it.
There's no
Got
charge.
it.
There's no cost.
So both
But
the
when you sign
user
up,
and the retailer both have to, or the
both sign
merchant,
up.
you know,
Oh, the merchant says so. Yeah,
the
the person.
user or the consumer and the merchant both have to be signed up. The consumer has to download it and have money in it, and the merchant
Yeah,
has to also have a deal with you guys.
sign
Sign
up.
up.
Okay. The two things about the sign up is this: if you're a merchant and you sign up, you can still accept all other forms of payment. You can accept debit card, credit card, whatever, AmpaCash. The only difference with AmpaCash is you can do small payment, large payment, and the fee. If somebody buys something for you for $500, the fee you pay with an AmpaCash purchase is 50% lower than the fee you pay with any other method. That's number one. Now, why you raised an important question. We are offering AmpaCash primarily to content
Mhm.
creators, musicians, artists. We have a site called Pay to Stream, a platform that AmpaCash owns. Why do we do that? Because if you have users, you can come over, they can pay you 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, $20, $200 for your content. And if they pay you with AmpaCash, we don't charge a processing fee. We charge a flat 10% platform fee, which is less than all the other platforms charge 30%. Some even charge 80%.
Wow.
And that's it. That's
Mm.
it. So we think that the AmpaCash with our pay to stream platform will give content creators, that's our main focus. We want content creators to be able to generate revenue. People spend time creating videos, music, things, and they can't make money from it. Some of them have 100,000 followers, but the people can't pay them. That's what AmpaCash does.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very. So, where did you notice this gap? Is it what part of your journey
Yes,
in the
we
corporate
knew
world?
about this. We knew about this when from TD Ameritrade, they were saying, gosh, when everything was bent on lowering cost, lower the cost, the processing cost is too much. We have to do this, even though the person wasn't
Hmm.
really going through an intermediary at the front end.
Hmm.
At the back end, we're still going through those intermediaries. The cost was going up. So it became obvious to me that if we had a method that could reduce the cost of transaction processing, we could make a fortune, especially online. Think about it. If you're online now, someone like you with music, almost the only way you can make money is through advertising. You have the product, you're making music. Some people like the music. Some people might even want to tip you and say, you know what, Bob, I like this stuff. Here's 50 cents. But if he gives you 50 cents and you have to pay the credit card company 65 cents, you'll say, keep your 50 cents. I'm running at a loss. You understand? So We think, for example, if you had, let's say you had 100,000
Mhm.
followers on your system, and 50% of them, that 50,000 people said, we'll give you 50 cents a month. You make $25,000 a month,
Wow.
free and clear. You can't do that by credit card.
Now
That's the problem.
you
That's what
mentioned
we're solving.
content creators could use it.
Yep,
How content
yep.
creators would benefit by signing up to AmpaCash?
Look at what happens when you just sign up on pay to stream. Sign up on pay to stream and say, and once you are on pay to stream, you're a content creator. We do some, you're a merchant. You just sign up. Not only can you accept AmpaCash directly, but you can drag and drop your content onto pay to stream. Just drag and drop it and say, we'll give you two choices. You can say this content, if you want to see it, it's 25
Mhm.
cents or 50 cents. Or you can say it's free, but it's tip to view. If you want to see it, it's free, but tip something. Tip me 5 cents or 3 cents or two. Just tip me something, tip to view.
Mhm.
So that means that any of your content on pay to stream, if anybody accesses it, you make some money. You make a little money. That's the model.
Wow.
And that the money you make, we're not charging you for it. The payment processing is free.
Yes. Hmm.
That's what we are offering. We think content creators, we actually have content creators lined up with a total of 25 million users who want to go on pay to stream. But right now we're raising money to onboard those users, to be able to onboard
Onboard them
those
where?
users
Onto
so that
AmpaCash or?
onto AmpaCash. So if you're like a content creator and people want to come buy your music, you say, hey, go buy my music. On pay to stream, we only support payments with AmpaCash because we want to be able to support everything. When the people come over and sign up, we do some onboarding stuff at the back that costs some money.
Mhm.
And that's what we're raising funds for. But we think that content creators are going to get a fair shake. It's going to be really profitable for them.
Hmm. But they would have to do it to pay to stream.
They just have to sign up with pay to stream. There's no cost. There's no cost to sign up. Just go sign up. In fact, we support foreign content creators.
Mm.
If you're in some place, foreign content creators, it's difficult for them to open a bank account. They don't have a social security number. We worked with a partner. We have a partner. If you go in, they'll sign up. If they can help you get a bank account, you get a company. But before you even get that, we give you a handle. You can accept payments.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It happens.
You can accept
Yeah.
payments. So yes, so pay to stream is we think it's going to really help content creators. Video, music, still images, live performances, live
Wow.
concerts. You can stream your live concert there, and people will pay you and they watch it. Donations. If you ever went to Red Cross to donate money, they'll tell you $10 minimum because of the fee. But with AmpaCash, we waive the fee for all of them for non-profits and charities. So if you give them $1, they get the whole dollar. So they are willing to take any amount you donate. So that's what pay to stream does. We think it has good potential.
Pay to stream. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. www.paytostream.com.
Are you also,
PAYTOSTREAM.
guys, part of pay to stream?
Pay to stream is owned by AmpaCash.
So this is your platform.
It's our platform.
Yes.
It's our content creation platform. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
So once you sign up on pay to stream, you're automatically a merchant.
And
You have
how
all the
many users
benefits
you
of
have
AmpaCash.
on now? Active users? You said
We have about slightly less than 4,000.
4,000. Amazing. And I need to. What kind of content is on pay to stream?
Anything. If you go on pay to stream now, we have people who sign up for video. We are actually slowing down because we have content creators who have 1 million followers, and they say, look, we can bring 50% of our followers, tell them to go get AmpaCash. But the problem is we have a cost. Every time we onboard a user, it costs us $3.40.
So why you don't want to upload more users or content creators?
Users. No, we want to put more content creators, but these content creators have their users who will sign up for AmpaCash to pay them. And if a content creator has 1 million followers, the onboarding cost for 1 million followers is 3.5 million.
Wow.
That's the problem. We get the money back as a user buys stuff, but upfront it's expensive. That's the stumbling block for us.
And that's so you focusing more on content creators, really.
Content creators is what we're focusing on because we think that's how we get our users. The content creators make money. Everybody's happy.
So you're not pushing the platform anywhere else right now yet.
Not for now. No, not now. No, we want to just.
So you're focusing on your own So you didn't just build the technology. Now you also build another technology to connect with, which is focused on, solely focused on content creators. Hmm.
Exactly, exactly. That's the market we're going for. And we believe, look, we think, I don't know how much you know, you're on some platform and they charge you 30%. Every money you give them 30. If you're on, for example, if you're on Audible,
Hmm.
you make your book on Audible, when you get paid, Audible takes 60% of whatever you get
Yes.
paid I mean, some of the stuff is, I've been a content creator and I say, this is a huge gap. We should make it more equitable. Yes, we should make money, but let the content creators make money too.
Shiji, you created two different businesses and you combined them together. But yeah, you literally created your own streaming, user generated content platform like YouTube in a
That's
way, or like TikTok.
that's correct. That's correct. And you see, what we think is they ban TikTok. A lot of people are looking for a
Yeah.
home. But the important thing, we will make money, but we really want it to be fair. Pay flat 10% platform fee. Whatever money you're paid, there is no other processing costs. You just make money. If somebody pays you
So you
five
only take
cents,
10% out of whatever they earn,
that's
the
it.
content creators.
Yes.
Even if you have
Yes. No, no,
advertisers and you have all of this.
we don't charge any of that thing. It's just whatever you get is free. We're trying to make it ad free, but if you want advertisers, that's fine too. We just want the content creator to generate
Hmm.
revenue. They'll bring us users. Everybody does well. We I don't want to sound like I'm like just an idealist,
Hmm.
but I think the content creator spends time. You
Yes.
spend time creating the content. You
Yes.
spend time making your music. You spend time. There should be a lot of. You could be a content creator and have 1 million followers, and you can't survive.
No.
You
And you don't know
generate $500 a
how
month.
much,
You don't even know how much you're going to get.
and you don't know
They have an algorithm
how much you
that
think
tells you,
YouTube and
oh,
other platform like they take out of how much, no, out of what they earn from each content creator, how much they pay them. 20%? They pay the
then
content
look,
creator from what they earn.
you know the content creator on YouTube. You need 1,449 views to make $1.
Wow. Then you need to have a
1,449 views to
minimum, I
make
don't know
one
how
dollar.
many subscribers.
Yeah, yes, you need to have 3 million views and 1,000 subscribers before you qualify for income.
Wow.
Before you qualify for income, and
Unbelievable.
when you get the income, it's an algorithm that will say, you know what, people didn't click on your notification button, they didn't
Hmm.
click on the subscriber button, you're not getting money. That's why every time you go to YouTube, they're always begging, say, please click on my notification button, please click on my subscriber button, because the revenue model is not good for the creator.
Very
And
interesting.
we'd
Love
like
the
to change
concept.
that.
Love the concept.
We
You,
would like to change that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Pay to stream.
Pay to stream.
Now,
That's it. It's for content
paytostream.com
creators.
or dot,
It's yeah. www.paytostream.com. That's
and
it.
then
And then once you sign up, that we automatically an AmpaCash merchant, and
amazing.
everything is done for you.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing,
that's
amazing.
it.
Now you have more patents, or all the patents that you
Yes.
have pending, are they all related to pay to stream or they're related to AmpaCash?
Well, there are some. It's a split. So one of the things that happens with pay to stream is this. So, like your music, for example, if the only way to listen to your music shouldn't be through a video or a
Yeah.
phone. Somebody can stream your music by just scanning a QR code and pay simultaneously and get the music on their phone. That is what we call remote pay.
Hmm.
That's a patent. It's supposed to help people on pay to stream.
Wow.
So right now we have 5 patents for pay to stream and AmpaCash, but we have 3 more patents for the pay to stream. We really think the content creator should benefit, and we have the technology to make that possible.
Hmm. Very interesting. Very creative. An amazing, actually, invention. Very innovative.
Thank you.
Um, Shiji, uh,
Hmm.
you know, are you? It seems like you're still not fulfilled.
No,
No.
no. Well, I have. I just keep moving. Technology is fun, and things are going to change. There are things, things are coming. But yes,
What's
I
next for
enjoy
you?
what I'm
What's
doing.
next for Shiji? The next endeavor that he's working on.
I want to make this content creator thing big, AmpaCash and content
Hmm.
creation big. I think that fintech, with all the changes that are happening, especially with AI and things, there's a lot of opportunity. Fintech, obviously, but in technology generally for business. I think there's opportunity there, and
Yes.
I'd like to see where I can take this. And I mean, we can always make money, but if you make money and you're also making a contribution, it makes it just as
You said something, but we really didn't touched on it. You said Hitachi came in, or Sony or Insurance. They wanted to buy your
patent,
AmpaCash, what do you call it?
patent,
Patent, yes.
patents. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what happened to that?
So no, we didn't want to sell. The reason is this: the payment space is dominated by deep pockets. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, banks, Google Pay, Apple Pay. They have a lot of money. What is missing is the technology, right? So we felt that the technology, we have 5 patents.
Yeah.
It's a moat that can protect us. Otherwise, you'll do all the work and some big company will come in and take the whole thing. So the technology is some sort of protection. I don't know if you remember when, before the iPhone, they had the BlackBerry.
Hmm.
BlackBerry was a big thing at one point, but they took people's patents and they had to pay first. They paid 600 million, then they paid 350 million, then they paid 175 million.
Wow.
They end up paying a billion for patent infringement. So we think that the patents protect us, and so people are more likely to, the big companies are more likely to either partner with us or do something. But we need that protection. That's why we didn't take the offer to sell the patents. But the thing is that if people invest, if something, God forbid, we do badly, we can always liquidate the company, sell the patents, and pay back everybody.
Wow. Wow.
But that's
A lot of our users who's going to be watching Entrepreneurs in Tech, and our viewers,
yeah,
they're going to be inspired by your ability. You came here, you went to college, and you got recruited immediately, and you got sponsored, for the path to citizenship. First, your green card, and then the offers didn't stop from one large institution to another. And then,
I was very
yes,
lucky.
and
I
then
was very
say, you know
lucky.
what? I'm going to hang the corporate hat or the corporate jacket, and I'm just going to do my own, create something to
Right.
do with the entertainment industry to the fintech to
Exactly.
entertainment tech.
That's true.
And you put them both together. Um, what advice you would have for other, entrepreneurs who are starting their journey, and they're going to listen and watch the show, and they're going to be extremely inspired by you, Gigi? Really, I'm inspired by you. Actually, such stories always motivates me and keeps me going forward. Um, what what advice you have for them, and what to do's and don't, and what to avoid? Obviously, you said never stop learning, and that's a very,
Yeah,
very
that's
great
very good.
advice, because knowledge is wealth, knowledge is power.
Completely agree. I think there's a lot of opportunity for young people, anyone who's starting out, not just young people, anybody, old people, anybody who wants to be entrepreneurial. It's just that you have to be willing to say, I'm curious. Look, there's a gap. Look at a company like Stripe. Stripe does exactly what regular big payment companies do. It's credit card processing, but they try to make it easier to pay people. If I'm having a yard sale, how do I accept a credit card payment? Put something on your phone, swipe. They didn't reinvent anything. They just saw a gap. And the thing now is with technology, you can fill in a lot of gaps. There's something my father used to tell me. He says, there's a statement they'll say, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Greatest thing since sliced bread. Okay, the person who invented sliced bread, he didn't invent bread. He didn't invent slicing. He didn't invent knives, but he's the first person that put them together. Bread, slicing, put it together, and
And
wow,
package
that's
it and
something new.
sell it,
So
make it
and
available,
package it and
ready to
sell it,
eat.
make
Just
it
open it,
available,
and
ready to
you don't
eat.
even
Yeah,
have to
open it
slice it.
and you're done.
Just slap in your
Exactly.
whatever cold cut vegetable sandwich, whatever you want to eat, cheese.
And you're home free.
Yes.
Exactly. So there are lots of gaps like that. But you have to be willing to do the work. You have to, and technology makes it easy to exploit those gaps. In the past, if you wanted to do something, you had to be a big company, you had to raise a few $100 million to do. But now you can do all sorts of things on your own, so long as you're willing to learn and do some of the work and get people around you
Hmm.
that can support you. I really think it's a great opportunity.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think
Interesting.
we live in a great world right now. It's a great opportunity for
What's the
people
future
who want to start up.
holds for technology?
I think it's fantastic. Again, I have to clarify. It's technology in relation to business, not just technology on its own.
Yes.
Just, I can, I mean, that's
Well,
helpful,
let's
but
say
you want to say
fintech.
fintech, exactly. How do we use this technology to do stuff? I think the direction, I think that AI is going to give us very friendly menus. So you don't have to punch things. You can just say, hey, I haven't talked to Bob in a while. Hey, Bob, send Bob $500 and let me know when he gets it. Things will just change. We'll have voice-driven menus. We're going to have significant reductions in fraud because of AI. AI can do all kinds of things. We even use it for AmpaCash. You can identify people that are trying to do fraud.
What if people figure out how to, you know, because everything is prompt, whether it's in text or it's in audio. What if they figure out how to infiltrate that through the proper prompting words and
It's possible, but the thing that AI is constantly evolving. AI is so much smarter than we are now
yes.
that you see, look, the world chess champion Magnus Carlsen is so brilliant. He's so far ahead of everybody, but AI will take him, give him a rook, and still beat him. So AI is so much smarter, even now, for some specialized things that maybe, I mean, the fraudsters will always try, but it's going to take them a while to be able to game the system. So as AI gets better, there'll be less fraud, transactions will become easier. One of the reasons why I really believe in entrepreneurship is one, okay, you can make a ton of money. Of course, that's always a motivator. But you can also do things that interest you. You can address things they say, no, this is not fair. Let's make something more equitable. You have the power to do things. Introduce a product that makes change. You can do stuff and make money while doing it. So it's a double joy. You make money and then you change things for the better. I think you can't beat that. You can't get that working for a big corporation. You can make money. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but you can't really change things. You can't say, well, listen, I want to make certain that everybody in this village can use their phone to get inclusive for the underbanked. You can do that with entrepreneurship, and specifically in fintech, the opportunity is huge.
Amazing. When somebody comes up to you and say, "Hey, AI is taking our job," what's your answer to them right away?
Well, it will take some jobs. It will take some jobs, but you can just it's not going to replace all the jobs. Rearrange, reorganize, learn something, and position yourself. AI is not going to replace human beings. They will take some jobs. That's no doubt. But you can use it. It's a tool. For example, AI is making great music now, but it doesn't make great music on its own. You can combine it and do something and say AI
use it as a
collaboration with
tool.
a human.
Use it as a tool.
Use it as a tool.
Yes.
Use it as a
Enhancement,
tool. Don't
advancement.
approach it with
Yes.
fear. Look at it and say, how do I learn with this? How do I combine this? Like I said, one of the things that I now do is I respect in my leadership processes creativity, curiosity. The person says, okay, how can we use this? They'll say, oh, it's coming to take our jobs. I'm going. Make some adjustment. You can make it and use it as a tool and enhance stuff. I think there's opportunity there. And yeah.
Well, I look at it this way. AI is not going to take your job. The person who knows how to use AI, they're going to take your job.
Exactly. You hit the nail on. I think you said it better than I did. That's it. That's correct. That's correct.
But we both agree on it. Chiji, this has been an amazing, motivating interview. I just want to say thank you for joining us today at Innovate Presents Entrepreneurs in Tech. Be sure to connect with us on social media. Until next time, please keep innovating, stay curious, and take care.
Thank you very much for having me. Much appreciated.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share Innovate Presents Entrepreneurs in Tech podcast. And if you're joining us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.